Hi, we are going to learn the Aeolian Mode 6 CAGED system. The Aeolian Mode 6 is created by the C major scale. The C major scale is a very special scale. The Aeolian Mode 6 is 6 degree of the C major scale. You count it C, D, E, F, G, A. 6 degree. The Aeolian Mode 6 formula is half step between the second and the third, and half step between the fifth and the sixth. Out of the 12 keys for the Aeolian Mode 6, the only key that have all natural note or tones is the key of A. The Aeolian, also known as A minor, natural minor, or pure minor. I'm gonna let it play from part number 1 through part number 5 in ascending mode. Okay, I'm gonna let it play ascending from part number 1 through part number 5. Put it up real fast so I can train my ear, and then I will play in reverse from part 5 go down the neck to part number 1. Turn fingering, degrees, interval, turn back to note. Part number 1 and part number 2, they are neighbor. Part number 1 share some common notes. Look at notes on 2nd fret and 3rd fret of part number 1. This note, they are carried over to create part number 2. You can see it's the same note on the same fret. The most important note to carry over from part number 1 to create part number 2 is the root on 3rd string, 2nd fret of part number 1, the A. See? From part number 2, you have another root on 1st string, 5th fret. You also have another root on 6th string, 5th fret. Let's turn the fingering on. You see that root you carry over from part number 1 on 3rd string, 2nd fret. I use the middle finger to play that root, but when I carry it over to part number 2, I use the index finger to play that root. And I use the pinky to play the root on 1st string, 5th fret of part number 2, also on 6th string, 5th fret of part number 2. I use a pinky to play the root. Let's turn note on. On part number 2 has neighbor is part number 1. It also have a neighbor part number 3. part number 2 and part number 3, they share some common note. Look at notes on the 4th fret, the 5th fret, and the 6th fret of part number 2. They are carried over to create part number 3. The identical note, same fret number, 4, 5, and 6. The most important note to carry over from part number 2 to create part number 3 is the roots on 6th string 5th fret, the A. Also on the 1st string 5th fret. Let's turn the fingering on. The root that you carry from part number 2 to create part number 3 on 6th string 5th fret, we use the pinky to play that root, but when it carry over on part number 3, we use the index finger to play that root. Look at 6th string 5th fret, and we also use the index finger to play the root on 1st string 5th fret. But on part number 2, we use the pinky to play that root on 1st string 5th fret. You see that? Part number 3 also have a root on 4th string 7th fret, and we use a ring finger to play that root. Turn on the note. Part number 3 and part number 4, they share some common note. Look at note on 7th fret, 8th fret of part number 3. They are carried over onto part number 4. That's how you create part number 4. The most important note to carry over from part number 3 to create part number 4 is the roots on 4th string 7th fret, the A. You see? Part number 3, the A, the root, carry over on part number 4. Part number 4 also have another root. It's on 2nd string 10th fret, the A, in solid red of part number 4. Let's turn the fingering on. The root on part number 3 on 4th string 7th fret, we use a ring finger to play that root. But when it carry over to part number 4, we use the index finger to play that root now. You see that? Part number 4, 4th string 7th fret. And we use a pinky to play the root on 2nd string 10th fret of part number 4. You see? Turn the note on. Okay, part number 4 has a neighbor as part number 3. And part number 4 also have a neighbor is part number 5. Part number 4 and part number 5, they share some common notes. Look at the note on the 9th fret and the 10th fret of part number 4. These notes are carried over to create part number 5. They are identical notes, same fret number, 9 and 10. The most important note to carry over from part number 4 to create part number 5 is the root on 2nd string 10th fret of part number 4, the A. See, number 5, 2nd string 10th fret. Let's turn the note on. On part number 4, the root on 2nd string 10th fret, we use a pinky to play that root. But when it carry over on part number 5, we change it to an index now to play that root. Look at part number 5, 2nd string 10th fret. Part number 5 also have a root on 5th string 12th fret, and we use the ring finger to play that root. Look at part number 5, 12th fret, 5th string. Turn the note on. So all you need to do for each pattern, find down the root. From that root, go up the step or go down the step, find the other root to make an octave. That's your main octave. For example, part number 1, the root on 5th string, open 5th string, right? The A, the black note, they belong to below octave. The root on 5th string, open A, you walk up the step, you see another root on 3rd string, 2nd fret. That's your main octave. From the root on 3rd string, 2nd fret, walk up the step until you play the G on 1st string, 3rd fret. That those notes in blue, they belong to higher octave or the above octave. Okay. When you move it to part number 2, with part number 2, you start playing the root from 6th fret, 6th string, 5th fret. Go up the step, you see another root on 3rd string, 2nd fret. That 1 octave. From the root on 3rd string, 2nd fret, you go up the step, you see another root on 1st string, 5th fret. That's the octave above. The black note, the G on 6th string, 3rd fret, it belongs to below octave. Number 3, part number 3, from the root on 6th string, 5th fret, walk up the step, you see another root on 4th string, 7th fret. That 1 octave right there. From the root on 4th string, 7th fret, walk up the step, you see another root on 1st string, 5th fret. Look at part number 3. That octave above. From the root on 1st string, 5th fret, if you walk up, you play even higher octave, the B and the C, 1st string, 7th fret and 8th fret. Part number 4, from the root on 4th string, 7th fret, walk up the step, you see another root on 2nd string, 10th fret. That 1 octave right there. The black note belongs to the below octave. From the root on 2nd string, 10th fret, walk up the step, B, C, D. That even higher octave or the above octave. Part number 5, from the root on 5th string, 12th fret, walk up the step, you see the root on 2nd string, 10th fret. That's your main octave right there. 1 octave. From the 2nd string, 10th fret, the root A, walk up the step until you play the F on 1st string, 13th fret. They belong to higher octave or above octave. The black note, the G, the D, the E, the F, they belong to below octave. Just play a few notes from part number 1, apply, bend the string, hammer on, hammer off, push, sustain, put your feeling into it, skip couple step, play other step, slide over number 2, do the same, play a couple note, apply technique on it, bend, hammer on, hammer off, slide over number 3, do the same thing, play a couple note, bend the note, put hammer on, hammer off, repeat the note, put sustain on it, slide over number 4, play a couple of note, do the same thing, slide over number 5, do a couple of note. Experiment, trying to create some lick. If you keep trying, you will come up with a good lick. Do the same thing now in descending. Play a few notes on part number 5, apply technique onto it, bend note, hammer on, hammer off, slide over number 4, go down the neck, play a few notes, slide over number 3, do the same thing, slide over number 2, do the same thing, and end up at part number 1. If you keep doing this every day, sooner or later you will come up with your own lick. Here is a different view with the 6th string or low E on top and 1st string or high E at the bottom. I like to read it this way because it's easier for me, but it's good to be able to read both way, 1st string on top or 6th string on top. Okay, I'm gonna let it play forward from part number 1 through part number 5, and then I'm gonna play in reverse. The way to learn is the same way as 1st string on top. The steps are the same, the fingering to use to play the root are the same, everything the same, it's just different view. One is with the 6th string on top, the other one is with the 1st string on top. I'm gonna let it play forward. I'm gonna let it play in reverse. Display fingering, display degree, display interval, display note. I also have video for position 1 through 5 or pattern 1 through 5 of the Aeolian mode 6 with the 6th string or low E on top for you to view. I hope this lesson helped you. See you in next lesson.